All right, so here's one of the very last 3D tools that we're going to talk about. This is at least one of the big five, I should say, and this one is Coil. So Coil is really just what it sounds like. It makes springs. It takes a profile and wraps it around an axis. So we're going to make a spring as our first object. The second one's going to be kind of cool. It's a giant like playground slide. Look like that. And then the last one is just a bolt. We're going to just put some threads on this bolt. This isn't really how you do it in Inventor. There's a way to do this for threading that's custom, or well, not custom, but standard. This is a custom way to do it. Sometimes that can be more useful for 3D printing and other functions. So anyway, we're going to jump into Inventor. We'll start a new part. We're going to clear this. All right, File, New Part, Create, and I'm going to start a 2D sketch. And this one I'm going to use my XY plane for the spring, and the spring is a lot like Revolve in that it just needs to have an axis to wrap around. So for this one, looks like this primary sketch is there's a 6-inch line, and that is more for reference, just so that we can kind of reference how far up it's supposed to go. And this is 1.5 inches away, and it has a cross-sectional diameter of 0.5. So I'm going to draw a line. Come straight up and make it 6 inches. Awesome. Hit escape. Go to my circle tool. And the circle is right on this axis, and it has a diameter of 0.5. Use my dimension tool to space the, wrong button. Space this from here to there, make it 1.5. And I'm also going to just make sure that this stays in place with my horizontal key or constraint so that doesn't move. Awesome. So 6, 1.5, and 0.5. Cool. So I'll hit Finish Sketch. Now it's time to coil. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click the Coil button, which is found right below Loft, kind of in the big 5 area here. Coil. We'll automatically select that profile. We'll define this axis, and it will probably do something kind of wonky the first time. It'll have some default settings we don't really want. So for this one, I'm going to make it go up, so it's facing upwards. I can flip the direction here. I can also change this to be right-handed or left-handed, and the pitch and revolution, all that kind of stuff. The pitch is how far it goes vertically, or in relative to the previous coil, and then how many revolutions it will make. So for the spring, we want it to have a pitch of 1 inch and to make 6 revolutions. So it goes 1 inch and it revolves 6 times. And I can click OK. There it is. That was it. So I can change this to whatever material I want, probably something metallic, like that. Awesome. It's actually a pretty large spring. So if I go over here and right-click on the part, go to Eye Properties, Physical, and Update, it'll tell me what it is right there. And life is good. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So the next one is the slide. So the slide is a lot bigger than pretty much anything else we've made, so this is to scale. So it has a height of 144 inches, or it's 12 feet tall. So it's pretty tall up there. And it has a diameter right here of 36 inches, and it's also 36 inches away from its axis, and the wall thickness of 1 inch. So I'll jump back into Inventor, start new part, File, New, Center Part, Create, and I'm going to start a sketch. XY plane, and I'm going to make a line that comes straight up 144 inches. 144, enter. And that's mostly just so that I've got an idea of scale and how big this thing is supposed to be. There we go. Okay, so to make that cool half moon shape, this kind of like the C shape I've got here, there is a tool called Slot. So I'm going to go over here and go to the down drop under Polygon, And this one is a slot point arc with a center point arc. So I'm going to click there, and I'm going to drop this over the side, kind of draw this more or less like that. Right here it's going to ask me how thick do I want the walls to be, and I want it to be 1 inch, so I'll use that. And now I need to define where these edges go up and how far they are from this over there. So I'm going to click this dimension point and this point. It should be 36 inches. And then my arc length, let's see how it's defined right here. It says it's an 18-inch arc, or a diameter, I'm sorry, 18-inch diameter, radius. And then the last thing I'm going to do is make sure that these points are all even with that right there. So I'm going to use my horizontal constraint tool, click this endpoint, and then this center point, and then the center point right here as well with that one, and then this center point with that one, so that it all kind of fits together nice and cheery like that. Cool. So I'm ready to do the revolve, so I'll say finish sketch, not the revolve, the coil. So coil, and it's already selected that profile, so just use this one. And it's remembered the settings we put in for the last one, so this would be a terrible slide if we used it like that. So I need to update it to have a pitch of 126 inches, and the revolution needs to be 1. And that's it. So it actually only makes 1 revolution, so it's a very sharp slope. So I'm going to type in 124, and as it is right now, that's a very tall slide. And I only need it to go 1 revolution, and I need to change the direction to flip, so it goes down instead of up. That's that. Click OK. And voila, we've made ourselves a really nice slide. And I can change the material. Let's say it's plastic on the other one. I'm going to make this one metal. It's a little faster. It gets boiling hot in the summer and freezing cold in winter. So, awesome. So I can get that volume, turn that in, and it should be a very large number, like in the thousands, I believe. So it'll be a large volume because it's just so much bigger than everything else we've done. Okay, so the last part is this bolt. So I'm going to make a bolt that has a head of 1 inch in width, and then a circle right in the middle there that becomes a cylinder that has a diameter of 0.5. Alright, so File, New, Standard Part, Create, Sketch, use the ground floor for this one, and I'm going to go down here under the slot, or what should be the rectangle tool, and go to Polygon, create a hexagon, and make sure that it is 1 inch from side to side, from flat side to flat side, so parallel to parallel. And then I'm going to put a circle right there in the middle. That is 0.5. Click OK. Awesome. So I'm going to make 2 extrusions with this single sketch. So I'll extrude here. I'm going to go down instead of up, and it's going to be 0.375 that direction. So I'm going to type in 0.375, enter. And now that sketch is gone. It's been consumed in the first. So I'm going to click plus on extrusion 1, right click on that, and say turn on my visibility so I can use that again. So I'll extrude this bolt, kind of the main part of it, up. Goes 2 inches. So I'll type in 2, enter. Voila. Alrighty, now I'm ready to draw the profile to revolve around this body. So I've got this little circle, this half circle I should say, and it has a diameter of 0.1, and it's just sticking out of the side there. You can kind of see it better right here. It's going to travel all the way down. So go back here, start 2D sketch, and there isn't a sketch on here I can use. This is a cylinder, and I can't draw on curved surfaces, so I've got to use my origin. I'm going to click plus, and I can use either this plane, the XY, or the YZ. Either one is good. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to draw a circle. The cool thing is I can select this edge and use that as my center. And come up there. Let's change my diameter to 0.1. And I'm going to make sure that this is tangent there. So I'm going to go tangent, this edge to that edge, and it's good. All right. So I'm good to hit finish sketch, and I can start doing the coil. So I'm going to use the coil tool. It's going to ask me what profile I want to use, and I want to use this one right there. If it'll let me. Good. And then it's going to say, where do we want to go? I'm going to click my axis, and I don't have one here, so I'm going to use the y-axis that's highlighted under origin right there. And the pitch, I believe, is 0.2. Let me see, 0.2, and it goes down 10 revolutions. So I'll type in 10, and OK. And there it is. So it looks kind of funny. It's a very thick thread. We'll pretend this is for like a kid's construction set or something like that. And I'm going to get rid of my sketch here, turn off the visibility, and make it look metal. Oops, not that metal. Let's try wood. Cool. There's my bolt. Looks good. So I can get my volume, enter that, and I am done.